Yeah. There's so much that we're grateful for. We're grateful for this group, grateful for my staff. I'm grateful for the opportunity to be here at the greatest basketball university ever created. I'm grateful for BBN. I'm grateful for all this. And I'm amazingly grateful for these legends. And I think all four of us are going to do radio after this, which is super cool. I think John's going to come with us. So these guys changed. They reset the trajectory of Kentucky basketball. They laid the foundation for what I got to experience when I came here as a player. They reset it for all of us that have played since then, and certainly reset it for me as having a chance to come be here as a head coach. And it's really special. This is the first time you guys have all four been in the gym.
Yep.
Since when?
1992.
That's incredible to me. It's the first time since 1992 we had these four unforgettables in here. And so I'm grateful you guys are here. Go ahead and ask some questions, guys. I'm just going to sit here and admire their beautiful answers.
Why not? What does it mean for you guys to be back and to see John Pelfrey doing what he's doing over on the sidelines?
Well, you got to know John first. He was so nervous doing this. So, we all have this group text, and he's asking us, what do you think? If I'm going to come, you guys better be there. I told him, I said, shut up. I did this 4 times. Take the money and freaking do the best you can and go on and just come hang out with us guys. So that's how that conversation went. As you know, we still treat and talk to each other the same way we did when we were 18, 19 years old. Question. If you played with John and grew up around John, you would know that he was built to be a basketball coach. And we knew when he was playing that he would be a coach when he finished. So I think he's done a tremendous job. And as Sean said, he was really nervous about coming in here and playing in front of the fans and playing his old team. But he said, if I can get through the first 4 minutes looked good. It was after that you got him. But John's a great guy, and we love having an opportunity to come back and everybody be together for the first time in 30 years. So it was good.
I think they did a pretty good job. I'm not the person that will say a lot, but no, this is a great, just to get back to see John and these two guys. We don't get to do this very often, and in this environment, there's that's telling John's kids, man, you get to play in Rupp Arena. That's a big deal, and that's by bringing his team there. They should. It's a great experience for them, and not too many people can say they play in this arena, and that's a big deal. I know it's the best 5 years of my life, that's for sure.
And before we go on to the next question, I got to give this guy credit, and we all do, because everybody gets kudos about unforgettables and things like that, but nobody knew who Rick Pitino's best assistant was that made us who we were, heart, mind, body, and soul, and that's our guy right here. He gets all the kudos. I mean, he's scared us to win games. I just want you guys to know that's Ray Rock Oliver. Everybody's got to give him a round of applause, because he's the guy who actually he was just as important in our success as any coach, any player during that time. And he's the only man still that I'm scared of, and we all still scared of. So just so you know, that's why we're successful right now, because we're scared to fail, because we know if we start acting up, he's still mean enough and tough enough to kick our behind. So let's make sure that doesn't go unsaid.
For any or all of you guys, I saw you back there standing with Rock for some of Coach Pelfrey's comments there. Just not sure how much of it you heard, but as you hear him talk about his emotion, see that emotion and the feelings that kind of were rekindled with him coming in here for this occasion, does it, I guess, stir up similar memories for you guys? And just what are you thinking when you walk into a situation like this and see him on the other sideline?
Well, I'm tearing up now because I've done this 4 times. I've been in John's shoes twice in Mississippi Valley, once at Moorhead and once at Southern. So I know the feelings and the emotions that go through coming into this building, seeing familiar faces, but being on the other side is just you don't understand the passion that we have and the love that we have for this place, and including him. And we're all refreshed that one of ours is at the helm now. And you don't know how that means to us, because he's gone through the trenches just like us, and he's one of us and knows as the coach here what it means to put that uniform on. And God works in mysterious ways, and there's a reason why Mark Pope is here right now, because the University of Kentucky needed somebody that's part of us to get this thing back to being realistic about what being a Kentucky basketball player and this program is all about.
For Mark, one, you're going to want to use John Pelfrey's press conference in your recruiting pitches from now on. But two, what does it mean to you when they're referring to you, one of our own, and you're the one who's in charge of the program now? What is it with guys like this here tonight?
Well, listen, I mean, what's really beautiful is these guys have, like, we know each other, but we don't really know each other. But the love that I have for these guys is, I can't even describe it. Because I got to, before I ever got to Kentucky, I got to watch these guys work their magic and just restore this program. I think you think about this group of unforgettables, and it's not just what they did, but it's the way they did it that was what all of us are striving to be like. Just the guts and the grit and the suffering. I mean, I brought up the post Kansas 1 experience with John, and he didn't share many of the details on the radio show, but when I got here to Kentucky, those are the stories that we heard. And it was really so beautiful to come here to Kentucky and hear the stories about this group, and about, I came here and Kentucky was just coming off the Final Four against Michigan, but they were still talking about what this group went through to get Kentucky basketball back to where it was supposed to be, and they went through it. I think it's probably like, I don't know if we get a triple X rating if they ever do a movie on it, just for the sheer, just the torture that these guys went through, but they did it, and they did it in a really special way, and they represent this place so well. So it's to be a part of this family is awesome. It's great.
You guys tonight come in and John's team comes out and does well. It's 7 minutes to go. It was 25-25. Even though you guys bleed blue, were you kind of pulling for your guy a little bit, or as the game got close, or were you thinking Mark played for Coach Pitino? It may be one of those X-rated movies if they don't get this thing going and at halftime or something. What was going through you guys' mind when that game was tight and emotions through that?
You don't want that one, Sean? I think it was really good to see John, because like I said, when we talked to him before the game, I mean, he was wanting to make sure that they come out and got through the first minutes and the first 4 minutes. And as you said, with 7 minutes to go in the first half, it was a tie ball game. So it was good to see the Cats, kind of start to get themselves together and start to make some shots and start to play a little bit better. But it's always good when you see your former teammate over there in the trenches and doing a wonderful job. And they did a great job the first half.
For Coach Mark, what do you hope your team will learn from the unforgettables and from these guys?
Oh man, I'll tell you what, if we could capture these guys' heart and spirit and their commitment, we would be unbeatable. So we'd like to ensure that as quickly as we can. They're just certain people that capture, they just put everything on the table to get it done. They're iconic in what Kentucky basketball is supposed to be. So that's something we're striving for every single day, is to learn and to understand and to grasp and to make that commitment. And to, before the game we talked about Kaizen, just about this relentless, unyielding effort for continual growth, and these guys embodied that in a really miraculous way.
Hey guys, John was pretty emotional when he talked about his jersey being retired, and I was just wondering, how have your thoughts on having those jerseys hanging up there, how has that changed over the course of the years with the benefit of hindsight?
You know, every time I walk in this building, I had to take that glance to see if it's up there, and it's something that it's just special. You know, I've said this before. The four of us as players, I felt like it should just be one jersey, the Unforgettables, and I've gotten in trouble for saying that it's all four of us, but it was a group. And we've talked about a lot of people, but Coach Pitino was the one that made this happen. I mean, he's the one that he pushed us to the limits, and that guy right there, he gets a lot of credit for our success, that's for sure.
And you had the best sergeant at arms in the world too, and that was Ray Rock Oliver.
I'd like to say something to that one. You know, I can tell you that as a kid, laying in the bed and dreaming of playing here, and you know, I think you dream about a whole lot of things. You dream about having great games. You dream about, you know, maybe scoring a lot of points in a game, hitting a game winner. But you never dare dream that your jersey might be hanging in the rafters, you know, especially at a place like UK. And I can tell you for me that when they told us that night to look up to the rafters as they retired their jerseys, I had no idea it was happening. And it's, I said it's the greatest accomplishment that a basketball player can have that plays here. You know, growing up and dreaming of all the dreams that you dream about, you never dreamed that your jersey would be retired, and that's just very, very special especially for a Kentucky kid.
This is for anyone here. Just what are you most thankful for this Thanksgiving?
Well, we got a lot to be thankful for. You know, we're still here. We still have our health, and you know, this year in 2025, this is the first time that all four of us are together since 1992. That's that day when we got our jerseys retired. That's the last day we were in this building together. So we have that to be thankful for. But not only that, you know, we've all thankful, you know, being able to put this jersey on. That's what we're thankful for. And not only that, your family, your friends, and things like that, but you know, Richie and Deron, they grew up here. I grew up in Indiana, but my mom was born and raised here in Lexington, Kentucky. The whole side of my mom's family is from here. And they grew up in the horse industry. Jimmy Winkfield was my great uncle, the first black jockey to win the Kentucky Derby twice. And my grandmother watched, and my family watched how the University of Kentucky evolved from what it used to be to now, and to have her see her grandson come back after her daughter moved away to have a successful career here, and to get his jersey hung up in Rupp Arena was something that you don't dream of. But I came back to make my family proud, and that was one of the biggest accomplishments of my life, knowing that my family was an African-American family living here in Lexington, Kentucky, and their grandson and their former, you know, their relative came back to a place that they grew up in watching, to have a legendary career. It means a lot to me and my family here in the state of Kentucky.
Good guys. These guys are all going to go to radio with Coach Pelfrey, and our players are available in the back.
Thank you guys.
All
Have
right.
a happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Appreciate y'all.